So, as you talked about, Professor, about the startup. So nowadays, the pitch presentation is a very important factor if you are going to get some funding for your startup. So just for my viewers who do not know about pitch presentation, it is usually a 5 to 6 minute presentation. In startup world, usually if you need to get some kind of funding or to enter in some competition, so you have to present your work in 5 to 6 minutes, but it should
Right.
be very concise, and it should convince the judges that your startup is going to be successful. So Professor, I want to ask you that what do you suggest how to make these kind of presentations effective, because I know you have polished a lot of startups, so you have a lot of experience.
When I work with the teams or the new companies that are trying to pitch their thing, again, like a job interview, like a presentation, like anything else, the first minute is critical, and
Mm,
the last minute is critical, right? You've got to start strong and finish strong.
I see.
What happens in the middle is usually a lot of data,
Mm-hmm.
but the concept, explaining the concept and explaining sort of the target, who's going to benefit from this, that needs to be really, really strong. It needs to be well thought out, but well thought out is not as important if it's not well communicated, right?
Right.
You've got to also think from the perspective of the judge slash investor,
Mm-hmm. Right.
right? You can say everything from your point of view, but if the judge or the investor doesn't get it, right?
Right.
If they don't see, why would I put my money into this? Why would I, when I go into the judge's room and fight for this team to win? What was it about their idea? And I've been to a couple of those pitch presentations and been on the judging panel, and it's funny to see what different people value
I see.
when they get into the judge's room.
I see.
Not everyone values the same thing, so that makes it a bit more challenging to prepare because you don't know what these judges or that judge or the head judge or whatever is going to value the most. But obviously, preparation is going to be very important. You need to have thought about
Mm-hmm.
all the things that they might ask you during the Q&A time.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you could give a dynamite, fantastic, wonderful, awesome 6-minute pitch, and then they ask you one question in Q&A, and you go, "Oh, I didn't think about that." You're done,
I see.
right?
I see.
So obviously the preparation includes going into Q&A, having all your backup material, all your extra stuff so that you can answer questions during Q&A, even if you didn't have time to do it in your main pitch.
Mm-hmm. I
But
see.
like I said, having that first, let's call it the first 30 seconds, really sculpted,
Mm-hmm.
right? Really, maybe that's what you want to have sort of memorized so you can really deliver that first 30 seconds as you're fighting your nervousness,
Mm-hmm.
as you're trying to overcome, looking at these judges. But then also you need to really tie it up nicely at the end. It doesn't need to sort of be going off into space like, oh, I think that's all I want to say. No, no, no. You need to have it really tied up and well prepared at the end as well. So, first impression, last impression. Like if you're a singer at a concert, your first and last songs need to be some really memorable ones
Yeah.
to get the crowd into it and then to finish it up strong as well. So you want to think about it like that.
I see. So just for the first 30 seconds, as you said, those are very important. So those should be more quantitative, or those should be more like addressing real problem. So what kind of hook usually presenters should use?
Yeah, the let's show you what a problem we have identified is, so that we're going to then explain why we're going to solve it is a typical hook. I think it's effective.
I see.
Um, as long as, and you always want to demo this pitch in front of a lot of different people and have them poke holes in it and say, you say that there isn't this, but did you know about this, and this? Because it's really embarrassing to walk into a pitch presentation and say, don't you hate it when there's no way to fix a flat tire quickly? And the judge goes, well, actually, my company does that. And then you go, oh, how embarrassing, right? So ignorance I didn't, oh, sorry, I didn't know. That's really not a good idea. That shows you didn't do your market research very effectively. So showing that you've done your market research, I think, is very critical in that sense.